If you're looking for something that can get kids outside, keep them active, and give the whole family another way to enjoy backyard, today I'm taking a closer look at the Overmount 14-foot outdoor trampoline from box to finish. And the first thing I want to point out is this size. At 14 feet across, this is definitely a substantial backyard trampoline. That larger size gives you a spacious jumping area, which is especially nice if you have older kids or you're looking for something that your family can continue using as your kids grow. So once this became assembled, it became a centerpiece for outdoor play. So instead of the kids immediately asking for a tablet or a video game or run straight inside, this gives them something they can actually get outside and do. Burn that energy off. They can jump, play games, practice moves, and simply just burn off that energy. And of course, one of the biggest things I look at with any trampoline is the overall construction. And this trampoline uses a metal frame designed to create a strong foundation underneath the jump surface. For an outdoor trampoline, that construction is particularly important because this isn't something you're setting up and taking down every time the kids want to use it. It's designed to remain outside, so you want a frame and that components that are made with outdoor use in mind. Another important feature is the enclosure system surrounding the jumping area. The safety net creates a barrier around the trampoline, which is something I personally consider essential on a full-size backyard trampoline. As the kids are bouncing and moving around, that enclosure helps keep the jumping activity contained within the trampoline instead of leaving the perimeter completely open. Assembly was pretty easy as well. It came with a detailed instruction manual that also had QR codes on it, so you could open the book, scan the QR code, and it would show you how to do the step you are on. You'll also notice the blue padding around the edge of the jumping net. That padding covers the spring and frame area, creating a more comfortable barrier between the jumper and the trampoline's hardware. The jumping surface itself is designed to provide elasticity you expect from a full-size recreational trampoline. As you jump, the mat works together with the spring system around the perimeter to close that bounce. And with a 14-foot trampoline, you have a much larger jumping surface than you would get with one of the smaller backyard models. Something else I really liked about this trampoline is that the size works for so many different types of outdoor play. Kids don't necessarily have to spend the entire time simply jumping straight up and down. They can play games, practice coordination, work on balance, or use it as another way just to stay moving. Jumping naturally involves legs, core balance, and coordination, so while kids think they're playing, they're actually getting some physical activity in. And that's probably my favorite thing about adding something like this to my backyard. It's entertainment, but it encourages movement. And now when it comes to putting together this 14-foot trampoline, it was a project where I plan ahead and give yourself some time. You're assembling a large frame, attaching the jumping mat and springs, installing the safety pad, and then building the enclosure around the trampoline. I would recommend laying all of your components out first and organizing before you begin. We did that and it helped us tremendously. It makes the process much easier when you can identify the frame pieces, springs, enclosure, and all the hardware. This is also one of those projects where you might want to phone some friends because that can make a huge difference when you're working with the larger frame sections and installing the jumping mat. So make sure you follow the included instructions carefully, particularly when it comes to the spring placement. With a trampoline, you generally don't want to simply install every spring consecutively around the circle following the recommendation. You want to install a pattern that helps keep tension across the mat. So once the main trampoline is assembled, you'll install the enclosure system and make sure everything is secured. And before anyone starts jumping, I would go around the entire trampoline and double check your connections, make sure the frame is completely assembled, confirm the enclosure is secure, and verify that the spring area is properly covered. You'll also want to choose your location carefully. A trampoline this large needs to be level, open with area with plenty of clearance around it and overhead. You don't want to place it underneath low tree branches, power lines, or other obstacles. And because this is a 14-foot model, you will need more than just 14 feet of backyard space. You'll want an additional clearance around the trampoline as well. I would also follow the recommendations regarding anchoring and weather conditions. Even a large trampoline can be affected by strong winds, so that's something you definitely want to consider when deciding where and how you're going to install this. For everyday use, make sure the enclosure entrance is completely secured before jumping, and keep the jumping surface clear of toys or other objects that aren't intended for trampoline use. And as always, follow the guidelines for the number of jumpers. It also came with the string lights that you can attach to the top of the trampoline as well, which were such a cool touch, and I had actually never seen this before in a trampoline. I especially like that this is something kids can use in different ways as they grow. Younger kids may simply be bounce and play, while older kids can use it for more active games. If you've been looking for a larger backyard trampoline and considering this one, hopefully it gives you a better idea of what it offers, what it simply involves, and how it can fit into your family's outdoor space. I highly recommended it, and our whole family enjoyed it. Check this out.